You ever met somebody you wanted to press for the first time, but completely felt like you blew it? Well, today I'm gonna show you how important first impressions are. All right. Last week we talked about key points and how to brand yourself. This week I want to discuss the first key point is first impressions. First impressions are very, very important when it comes to your brand and when it comes to just overall branding and being putting yourself out there. So, first impressions set the tone and how people perceive your business, determining whether they want to trust, or engage, or buy from you. First impressions are critical. One, they happen instantly. Two, they build or break customer trust. Three, they influence purchasing decisions. Four, they are hard to change. Five, they differentiate you from your competitors. And six, they set expectations for your brand's experience. All of these are points that I want to discuss today as it pertains to first impressions. So, the first point, they happen instantly. You get it's a small margin when it comes to first impressions. When a client first sees your brand, this is evident with brands like Nike, Apple, and Tesla. When it comes to Nike, it's a bold, inspirational, and energetic brand. So when you first see the logo and words, or an athlete with the check mark or anything like that, that's what you get, and you're getting a bold, inspirational brand. You know it's a brand that you can trust, and it gives you inspiration with like their Just Do It campaigns. The other brands that I wanted to highlight was Apple, which gives you a minimalistic, premium, and an innovative feel. They do this purposely, so when you see their products like the iPhone or their MacBooks and Mac computers, it's all very simple, but it gives off the impression of innovation and a premium to make you feel important when you purchase in those brands. And Tesla does this very well as well. Very good as well. They give off a futuristic, sleek, disruptive brand. So this helps messaging when you first see their brand. It allows you to feel that futuristic look when it comes to the logo, or when you first see a car or any other products that they may have. So the question is, how can you as a small business make a stronger first impression? So in order to make a strong first impression, small business can make a strong first impression by being intentional about how they present themselves visually, verbally, and experimentally. Here are some key strategies. These are some things you want to do to 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 have good, strong first impressions. Have a polished and professional brand identity. This is one of the key points that you will hear on this podcast very often. You want to have a visual identity, um, whether it's the logo and the colors. Invest your time into getting that brand identity right. This is very, very important. You want the typography and the design to be cohesive throughout all platforms that you use. Um, an example is a small coffee shop with a well-designed logo and an Instagram aesthetic that matches the shop decor. Um, Creates a seamless, memorable branding experience. When you go through throughout your day, just start to notice some of those successful brands, and then notice how they look visually. What are they doing visually? And this should help you when you going across your brand. You want to optimize your online presence. Make sure your website is easy to navigate. Is mobile friendly and visually appealing. Visitors should immediately understand what you offer. On your social media pages should be active, well curated, and reflect your brand's personality. First time visitors will judge your brand based on your bio, pinned post, and your overall feed aesthetics. A clothing brand with an Instagram page that looks high quality and engaging is more likely to convert followers into customers. Your followers, everybody that follow you may not be your customers, but it is very likely if you have good aesthetics, you know your target audience, that you can be able to use your social media pages to gain real customers that will support you and buy your products or services. Craft a strong message. Have a clear mission statement or tagline that instantly tells people what you stand for. This is very important because people follow the things that they personally are engaged in or believe. Make sure that your messaging is consistent and customer focused. Why should people care about your business? Is a question that you want to ask yourself. Don't make it about you, make it about what your customer is thinking, your potential clients are thinking, and then ask yourself, why should they care about your business? Prioritize customer experience. Whether it's an online store or a physical location, make sure the first interaction is smooth and enjoyable. Offer friendly customer service. Quick response to DMs, emails, they matter. If you can respond, the less your response time when you dealing with customers that want to potentially work with you is the better. If you can respond quickly and and with answers uh, that to the questions that they ask, then it's more likely that you can win over a client or a customer. If you have a storefront, ensure it's welcoming, clean, and well branded. Um, when people walk into your storefronts or shops, studios, you want to make sure it's clean and it looks good. Because sometimes people just is walking past. I'm that type of person that I just walk past and I just go inside a store or a shop or a studio and just walk in. And if it's not clean or looks good or brand is off, then I'm out. But if everything's clean and it looks good, I'm more interested in what they offer and what they want to do. And I think that's or what they do. And I think that's fitting for most brands and most people. Um, the next thing you want to do is leverage your social proof and reviews. So you want to leverage things like testimonials and reviews from happy customers. So when people comment, when they review your page, or whatever product that you have, you want to leverage that. You want to post that. You want to put it on your websites, um, on your Instagram pages. You can use that to send to testimonials to clients or potential customers as well. Encourage, encourage user generated content, such as customers sharing your products or social media. This is a good strategy to use. So if people post um, like if you have a clothing line and people posting the clothes that they wearing, use that and reshare those things and tag those people in it. That way you can have a good you can start to form a good community of people and a customer base that you that want to re-shop with you because you giving them exposure as they expose your brand as well. And one of the last things is be consistent across all touching points. Your business cards, emails, websites, social media pages, and in-person interactions should all feel like the same brand. This is very important. If your messaging is different with different people or different across different platforms, then it makes it harder for people to interact with you, to trust you, and to engage with you because they don't know what you're selling, they don't know who you are as a brand. The easier people can connect the with you, then the better it is for you and your brand. These are all important uh things, strategies that you can use when going about your first impression. Your first impression it matters the most out of all the key points because it's the first thing that people gon' notice about you. It's hard for a person to change their opinion about you. It's like in real life. It's like in real life when you asking somebody on a date or you in a job interview. These things are it's harder. Like if you go to a job interview, it's hard for the person to hire you if you come in first time, if you don't look right, or even if you have the ability to do the job, it's harder for them to hire you if you not if you're not visually appealing, or if you not saying the right things in the interview. And I think if you take that mindset to your brand, then you'll be more successful. A polished, well designed brand signals professionalism and reliability, while a sloppy or inconsistent brand can make people skeptical. Trust Trust is the foundation of customer loyalty, and without a strong first impression, you might never get the chance to build it again. You might never get the chance to build that customer trust and that customer trust that you want. Let's talk about the psychology behind first impressions. First impressions form in seconds or less. Studies suggest that people form opinions in as little as 50 milliseconds based on visual cues. So a lot of times they don't even get to the conversation. A lot of times when it comes to first impressions, we start forming an opinion about it uh visually. That means when it comes to your brand identity, this is why I speak on brand identity so much, is because when people see your brand, they start already forming opinions about it. They don't have to know anything about your products. They don't know if you have to have a good service, uh, if it's good or bad. They don't even know that yet. They just start forming opinions. This is just human nature. I believe it's just human nature. Uh, that when we see something, it's automatic. We're gonna start forming opinions about it. A Princeton study found that people decide whether someone is trustworthy within 1/10 of a second just by looking at their face. Do you have a trustworthy face? This is important. Um, it's not, you don't have a lot of time, so you have to make sure that you're visually in the right position. Your brand, you or your brand is visually in the right position to make those impressions good. In branding, this means your logo, website, and packaging must make an immediate impact. It has to make an immediate impact, and it will make an immediate impact. But we want to have good impact, not bad impact. The halo effect. Good impressions carry over. If people have a positive first impression, they're likely to assume other qualities brand or about your brand are goods too. All right, let me say that over. If people have a positive first impression, they're likely to assume other qualities about your brand are good too. So if they have a good first impression, they're gonna assume that every that other things about your brand is good as well. Examples: if your brand design looks sleek and professional, customers might assume your products are high quality as well. On the flip side, a bad website or cheap looking packaging can make people doubt your entire business. I mean, this is the main point of the first impression. We want to get good first impressions so that um we want to invest in basically making sure that our packaging is right, our website is right. So so that people can get that good first impression. Confirmation bias. First impressions stick hard. People tend people tend to seek out information that confirms their initial impression. So it's we want to make ourselves right about whatever we see. So if you have uh cheap looking logos or packaging, then people are gonna they want to confirm that your product is cheap. Um, and that's or you're not professional based on based on that confirmation bias. We want to tell ourselves that we were right. And the other on the other hand, that if you have good professional looking logo or a website, then we want to confirm that with our in our heads as well. If someone thinks your brand is trustworthy, they'll look for proof, good reviews, clean branding. So we gonna confirm our bias. So if we see something that looks good, we're gonna go search for the things that make it look good. If their first impression is negative, they might assume bad reviews are more reliable, even if they're outliers. So it can be one bad review. If someone looks at your website and they're like, "Oh, this is cheap," you can have 100 good reviews and you can have one bad review. They're gonna look for that bad review and be like, "Oh yeah, this is just what I thought it was." So we have to make sure we're on top of our first impressions. Then thin slicing, instant judgment from small details. People make broad assumptions based on very little information. In branding, small details like color choices, font styles, and tone of voice can make a brand seem high end, casual, or untrustworthy. Luxury brands use minimalism, and neutral colors to signal exclusivity, while fast food brands use red and yellow to trigger appetite and urgency. You want to make sure your brand is aligned with the message that you're trying to perceive. Um, like I said, most food food companies. Just think of them. They use that red and yellow to get your blood flowing and get that urgency. So when we talk about McDonald's or Wendy's, and just think about any other fast food restaurant, just think of that use of that red and yellow. Just go driving down the street today and just look at those restaurants, and you'll see that red in there. When it comes to like fast food, this is done on purpose because they know what it does to people. So that's how you want to treat your brand. Um, what is the and talk to your brand designer, and so you can know what y'all looking for, what you're going for. Facial and visual cues matter. In personal branding, facial expressions, eye contact, and posture impact how people perceive you. For business branding, the style of visual packaging and storefront aesthetics impact whether people see your brand as credible or not. The mere exposure effect. Familiar familiar familiarity builds trust. The more someone sees a brand, the more they trust it, even if they're never bought, even if they never bought there before. This is why ads work. This is why ads work. Whether it's on the radio or on a website or it's packaging or it's a poster, um, This is why companies pay millions of dollars to be on a Super Bowl commercial, because they want their brand to be visible. The more a person see a brand, the more likely they're going to trust it. It's like it's almost like that song that you hear on the radio. At first you're like, I don't really care about it, I don't really like it. But the more you hear it, the more you hear it, the more you hear it, the more you start bobbing your head, the more you start dancing to it. When you go out to the club or to a bar, then you start seeing how other people react to the song, and then all of a sudden you starting to like the song. It's the same thing with your brand. You want to put it out there, keep putting it out there, keep allowing people to see it. Let people see the logo, let people see the website, and just put it out there as much as you can. That way people can start trusting it. Repetition in branding, consistent ads, social media presence, and messaging makes a company feel reliable and familiar. Even if you don't use Nike or Apple, their consistent presence make them feel like established and credible brand. They always consistent, they always there. No matter where you go, you're gonna see somebody with an iPhone. No matter where you go, you're gonna see somebody with some Nike shoes. And it makes it reliable. So um you wanna take that and you wanna put that with your brand. How can you continue to make it consistent, reliable? That's called the mere exposure effect. The next thing, emotional connections shape impressions. People remember how you make them feel more than what you say or sell. Brand that invokes strong emotion, whether it's excitement, nostalgia, or trust, stick in people's minds. Airbnb branding makes people feel welcome and adventurous, leading to stronger emotional bonds with the company. So, in a lot of those Airbnb ads, they show family, they show the effect that the difference between what you feel when you go into hotels versus when you use Airbnbs, and they do that consistently, and uh, they do that well. I like their commercials. I like their visuals that they put forth in their commercials. So we want to do that, and we want to take those things and put it put it with our brand. How can we make an emotional connection with our customers and our clients? How can we make them feel like um we are a part of what they do, and be more connected to them? I'm gonna review a little bit about what I talked about. First impressions form in seconds. These are some of the key points when it comes to psychology. Um, One, first impressions form in seconds or less. I mean, you don't have a lot of time. Two, the halo effect. Good first impressions carry over. Three, confirmation bias. First impressions stick hard. People want to believe what they want to believe. Um, Four, thin slicing. Instant judgment from small details. Five, facial cues matter. Six, the mere exposure effect. Familiarity builds brands. The more you out there, the more they're going to trust you. And the last one is emotional connections shape impression. Let's build an emotional connection with our customers and clients. All right. So let's go over a little bit what we talked about today. Today we talked about first impressions. Uh we talked about uh things that we can do to how we can incorporate how we can improve our first impressions in our small business. We talked about how bigger brands use first impressions, how important it is to visually have good first, how to have a good visual first impressions. Today we also talked about the psychology behind first impressions, and we put forth a little bit of action and some things that we can do to incorporate and uh, first impressions in our or just make our first impressions better. I just want to talk about this because first impressions is the first thing that people are going to see, and they're going to start forming those opinions about you and your company. Your first impression is the foundation, is what matters. This is how people is going to recognize your brand. This is how people are going to build trust, and this is how you can build a community within your brand. So let's take this information, replay it a couple times so you can get it into your head, and and yeah, let's go. Let's go out and let's build these brands and let's create. Remember, remember, this will be on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts and apps and Spotify. So let's like, let's subscribe, let's share, let's hit that notification, and let's go. This is the TED Design Podcast. Let's keep creating. Peace.